Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons and the Star Wars sequel trilogy. All right, specifically, we're going to talk today about The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. All right, very interesting film, and actually, very interesting trilogy of films. And I wanted to talk about this in context to Dungeons and Dragons. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so first of all, the reason we're talking about it is I just started rewatching them, and I'm about 2/3 of the way through Last Jedi. But the reason why we're talking about them is I got this I sometimes I just we it's I have to I'll be transparent. I get these hankerings for things every now and then. Recently, I've been on this huge chili dog kick. I can't get enough of chili dogs. I eat them all the time. I really like them, right? And I'm very blessed, right? I'll get kind of hankering for something, and I have the resources to get those things. I think I'm also kind of wise that I choose the things that I get into. They need to be, chili dogs are fairly accessible. So. I think that's part of life, is choosing the things that you want, that you want to splurge on. It's kind of important, right? Um, but I was thinking about lately I've really been on my IP, diet. I've been really on Harry Potter. I was really on Harry Potter for a while. And suddenly I started just thinking about Star Wars. And I was like, well, I can't really like Star Wars anymore. And Star Wars is over because I didn't like the sequel trilogies. And doesn't look like they're ever going to do another, movie. And you're like, oh, what's happening, And it's frustrating. And I think a lot of people are frustrated, right? But then I was like, I think I want to watch the sequel trilogy again. I miss it. I want to watch the sequel trilogy. Yes, with Kylo Ren and Finn and Rey and Captain Phasma and General Hux. It's like, I want to see that again. And then I realized, well, tough beans, you can't. You don't have Disney Plus, right? We can't every streamer. And so we got rid of Disney Plus months ago, right? Maybe 6 months ago, right? And I miss it. There's a lot of stuff on there I would love to watch, and so I was like, but you can't, right? So then I was like, well, weirdly, I think I remember that some Star Wars stuff showed up on Netflix. Like maybe the sequel trilogy is still on Netflix, right? So I go to watch it, and I find and Disney Plus is like, it's nowhere. You can't watch it anywhere except here, right? But guess what? We'll give you Disney Plus for $1.99 per month for 3 months. You want it? And I was like, bet, I'm in. Done. I will take 3 months of Disney Plus for $1.99 a month. So then I started rewatching them. So I got Disney Plus. I started rewatching the movies, and I think, and here's where we land. Right? I have thoroughly enjoyed them, every single minute of them. And the reason why is I realized I was vexed. I was vexed with Disney. I was like, you guys could have done better. You could have done better. When I watched the sequel trilogy, I was like, first of all, when I watched the first and second one, I was like, these are good. I liked them, right? And when I watched the third one, I was like, Emperor Palpatine, are you joking me? Like, you guys could have done better. You could have finished this well. You could have done better, right? And so I was vexed with them because they could have done better. But here's the kicker. This is the part you don't get. They couldn't have done better. Nobody could have done better. And that's why I have all this love and all this patience and all this kindness for the series, for the sequel trilogy now, right? Because no one could do better. No one could do better. We know that now. They came out in 2015. The sequel trilogy started in 2015, right? And here we are, 9 years later, almost a decade later, right? And where we landed was, oh no, nobody could do better. And so now I look at the repugnant, ridiculous fools who talk smack about the sequel trilogy, right? And I'm like, yeah, like you say it's garbage. You say it's ridiculous and bad. You say it's not good, but nobody beat it. And that's where we are, right? Like we're like, oh, you guys could have done better if you had only did this and only done that. Put your money where your mouth is. There's nothing out there like it. Even the sequel trilogies, right? What science fiction series has given us spaceship combat and space sword combat the way the sequel trilogy did? Literally nothing. Nothing. Nothing, right? Whole bunch of smack talk. Oh, this is garbage. This is bad. This is ridiculous. Okay, I hear you, right? This is garbage. Beat it. You can't. So seal your flapping maw. It's the best there is, literally, right? And that's the point is we're a decade out from the sequel trilogy, right? And everybody's still talking smack, but nobody did better. And that's Dungeons and Dragons, right? You talk all your game and you talk all about how they need to do it this way and they need to do it that way and they need to did this wrong and they made all these scandals, blah 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 blah. And your OSR game sucks and your indie game sucks and it produced nothing. Nothing. It doesn't compete, right? So there's a point where we all get to say, this is garbage, right? We all get to complain. We all get to talk our smack. But then it's time for the walk. The talk ends and it's time for the walk. And there's no walk on Star Wars. Nobody's beat it. Nobody's even come close, right? There's nothing gaining ground on Star Wars. Nothing. And it's exactly the same on Dungeons & Dragons. All these OSR, all these indies got all this talk, all these complaints, all these mistakes they made, and nobody comes close to even remotely competing. You got all this talk, but nobody's got walk. And when you give time and there's no walk, seal your flapping maw, take your seat, and enjoy the best that exists. Because talk is talk and walk is walk. And Star Wars is undefeated and Dungeons & Dragons is undefeated, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing and have a fetch millennium.